7:44 right now, and boy, oh boy, look who is here. It's a good friend from the Des Moines Fire Department, Brian O'Keefe, in studio with us, and we have a very special week going on right now. It started yesterday, right?
Yeah, we're downright proud, along with Stivers, Ford, Lincoln, to salute great organizations. Obviously, the fire department, a huge one that we honor all the time, but this is a special week going on.
Yep, we hit this. This is our annual Fire Prevention Week. This year's theme is Don't Wait, Check the Date. Replace your smoke alarms every 10 years. Lou and I are a little older than you, but when we grew up, we didn't have smoke alarms. So they started coming in after the 80s, and now everyone has them, but they've never, or they might not be checking them, and they might be too old to really be effective like we want them to be.
Now let's go back and what you said, because people might have just heard it and then just didn't even think about it. You said replace the smoke alarm, not the battery, the whole unit.
Correct.
Okay, because a lot of times you hear the batteries, whenever the clocks change, we move forward, we move back, change your battery, but you're saying the whole device.
The whole device,
Could
yep.
be
The
defined.
manufacturers, they've tested them, and if they're over 10 years, you know, they're getting that dust and dirt in there, and you're not going to get that early detection, which means that it's going to take a lot more smoke. You're not going to have much time to react and get your family out safely. So 10 years, it's very simple if I can show you here.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
It's either mounted on the ceiling or the wall. Some of them have a hard wire, or there's additional wiring to it. Don't worry about that. But if you look on the back there, there's a date.
Here, show the camera right
flip
there.
it, yeah, right over here.
It's the manufacturer's date on there. It's not the date you put it in or the date you moved in. It's 10 years from the date it was manufactured.
Now, if you go to nfpa.org, there's an area where you can take like a quiz, a 101 type quiz, so you can see how knowledgeable you are. And that's one of the first questions they have here. A smoke alarm should be replaced every 10 years from the activation, installation, manufacture, or purchase.
Right, and that's a manufacturer.
And you're saying the hardwired ones as well.
Correct.
Because a lot of times I think if you feel like it's hardwired, it's like, oh, that's one for life. You don't really have to
Everyone's
worry
had
about
that security of, well, I checked my battery.
Okay, there's the quiz here.
I pushed the button. When you push the button, that just ensures that there's power to it.
Correct.
And that the alarm works. But you don't know how sensitive or clean that smoke head is. Okay. We get into a lot of homes in Des Moines, and you have people that are heavy smokers, people that cook with a lot of oil and grease.
Yep.
And then pet dander, dust and dirt.
All
Think
that
about
good
that.
stuff.
So I took one down. Saturday we visited about 100 homes in Des Moines, and you remove them. There's cobwebs in there. There's spiders. There's cockroaches. There's dust and dirt. So they look good from the outside, and people dust them off, but there's some inner workings in there that are important to have them functioning properly.
That's a good idea. And again, if you do get a new one, you know, might want to write it on with a marker or something to make it a little easier to see what it is.
Yeah, on some models they actually ask you to write down the date. You can either put the replacement date, that's a little easier to remember, replace by, you know, sell by, kind of the spoiled milk theory. But yeah, it's critical. Just in the last 2 months we had a family, it was grandma, 2 boys, home alone. They had the house had filled with smoke. They had 7 smoke alarms. Not one of them had a battery. Only one was dangling by one wire. Not a one went off.
Are you serious?
And the only reason I believe they're here today is because the boy got a bloody nose and he woke up and his bedroom was full of smoke.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, that's scary.
Yes, and that was a newer home that had been hardwired, but for some reason they had chosen not to replace. So.
Now, they used to be fairly pricey. Smoke alarms were fairly pricey. What you talked about, you and I are a little older when they first came out, but now what's the cost of a smoke alarm nowadays?
A basic one that's just battery operated is about $14.
Which is nothing.
Not really, no.
Yeah, not when you consider what it does.
And then this one here is a combination smoke alarm carbon monoxide. Different topic, but we really still want you, especially if you have a furnace that has gas, an oven, or you use your fireplace, we also want you to have a combination with a carbon monoxide
Does that
detector.
same rule apply? Because I have a separate carbon monoxide alarm. Is it about 10-year?
They do theirs differently.
They do.
Some are 5, some are 10.
Okay.
If it starts
Keep that in
chirping,
mind.
it's probably going to require total replacement.
Okay,
Again,
now what about placement of the smoke alarms in the home? Do you put them where you sleep? Do you put them where you cook? Where do you place them?
well, I won't say we want them everywhere, but it's in every sleeping area, so that's a bedroom. We want them in the hallway to protect those because we're hoping that you remember to sleep with your doors closed, because what happens is if you could have a fire in a lower level, if you keep your doors closed, it will not come upstairs and into a bedroom where you're sleeping and would give you more time to react. So we want them every bedroom, outside the sleeping areas, on every floor, to include the basement level. So it just gives early detection so you can hear it before you see it or smell it.
That sounds
Okay.
like we're going to go shopping for some smoke alarms.
Well, it seems like a basic thing, but it's one we forget. You see it up there on your ceiling, and you kind of forget it that it needs some extra maintenance.
Right, and some people say, oh, yeah, I'm good.
Right.
They never go off, or oh, yeah, it goes off all the time.
Yeah, so you just take the battery out, and it doesn't go off all the time. Yeah.
Right.
It's not a cooking alarm, but if it does go off.
Yes, that was mentioned yesterday at our open house. Someone said, yeah, that's my dinner bell for the kids.
That's your timer. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some basic, because the kitchen area is the number one place for fire. So there's some housekeeping. If you have a dirty oven or dirty stove, it's going to go off. Mm-hmm. If you use excessive heat, it's going to produce smoke and will go off. So it's better to have that protection with occasional accidental alarms versus no protection. And you go sit down and enjoy your morning show, and something's cooking or burning in the kitchen.
Right.
And you don't have time to turn it off, cover it, versus having to evacuate and call 911.
Yeah, this might be something you want to do today rather than putting it off, is grab it again. Show everybody on here where it is located, where the markings are located.
So yeah,
right
you
on the
would
back.
spin it off there, and the manufacturer has different locations for the date it was manufactured. So please check that. And set aside, commit to soon.
If you can't remember.
Here's when this one was. Look at that.
If you can't remember, chances are it's a good time to get them replaced.
Perfect.
Some great advice this morning. We are downright proud, along with Stivers, Ford, Lincoln, to salute a wonderful organization, of course, our local fire department. And you guys have been doing great work of handing out fire alarms to people. If people want more details, maybe they want to know where they can find an expiration date or where they can get the best in the business, where should they go for more details?
Well, give me a call at 283-4240. And we'll set you up. It's a simple form. We just want to find out where you live, number of rooms, and if you can't install them, special needs, seniors, yeah, we'd absolutely come into the home and install them for you.
That's
Make
wonderful.
sure they're in the right place and you're safe.
Fire prevention, and if people can't afford smoke alarms and the numbers they need, you say you might be able to give them some assistance?
Yes, we do that on a weekly basis.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you
Wonderful,
so
great
much.
job. Now, you're not going anywhere because you're going to be joining us with another segment of the program coming up after the top of the hour.
Yeah,
so.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, so this will be fun.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun. That's all coming up. Also coming up next, right here on CW Iowa Live, it is time for Totally Serious News. Has a couple of cool stories to share with you. Coming up next on CW Iowa Live.